This video is for all of you Raichi fans. How does it feel to finally have your moment? What's going on, everybody? It's Animasu here, bringing you guys some speculative content as usual while we wait for these new chapters. In today's video, we're going to be theorizing on the upcoming events for chapter 224, and even looking at some of your theories that have been shared in the comments. If you guys enjoy these types of videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, comment on my videos, and even join the community Discord if that interests you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and please enjoy the video. So first of all, let's just start off with a little refresher for those who haven't read the chapter or maybe just need some brushing up. Throughout chapter 223 of Bluelock, we get to witness the true effectiveness of the UBERS strategies, with the puppeteer of them all now being onto the field, Marc Snuffy. Not only has he increased the fluidity and speed of their attack patterns, but he himself has been slipping in and out of their blind spots, with nobody even having time to focus on him. With Isagi, Kaiser, and Noa really being the main three holding it down for Bastard München, our boy Isagi does seek the help of their master for the key to defeat Snuffy. Noah's response, however, is that he actually has no damn clue what they can do in their current situation, instead just urging Isagi to wait 3 minutes and be patient. With the masters only having 3 minutes due to the star change system, this match will once again change once they sub out, just as it did when they came in. Noah insists on telling Isagi that sometimes, patience is the key to opening up a path, which obviously resonated well with him. Seemingly having an idea on how to devour Snuffy, we see Isagi Yoichi actually turn to the help of Raichi Jingo, asking if he's willing to die. With that, chapter 223 ended off there, leaving us speculating today about 224, boasting the title of An Easy Job. Now for theory 1 in today's video, let's start off by talking about Isagi and Raichi's upcoming plans, so maybe we can figure out what's going on in Isagi's brain right now. Being a tall and muscular box-to-box midfielder, it's very obvious that Raichi is going to be used in some way to handle BM's ongoing Snuffy problem. Boasting some immense stamina, a muscular build, and an intimidating presence, Raichi is also very useful when it comes to man-to-man marking on defense. It's possible that Isagi's question to Raichi about if he's willing to die, he was actually referring to him being physically drained due to his upcoming task, going toe-to-toe with the UBERS world-class master, Marc Snuffy, using his incredible stamina to mark him closely for the next 3 minutes. It's no random thing either that Isagi has called out on Raichi to help him here, because prior to this match, even Noel Noa said that he's possibly the key to winning it. Throughout all of Bastard München's training sessions, Raichi has boasted the best number in both his 1v1 defense rate and his physicality. Noah straight up just tells him here to use that defensive ability of his to become Bastard München's beating heart and anchor, which is exactly what he'll do in this upcoming matchup versus Snuffy. This actually does lead us into the next theory as well, involving that overwhelming man-to-man marking ability. Now, as we all know, Snuffy is a world-class threat, even being called an overall better player by the likes of Noel Noa. Not only that though, we've obviously just seen him chopping it up on the field with the UBERS, so it's obvious how insane of a player he is. On the other hand, while I'm putting some respect on Raichi's name because he is a great player, it's also possible that he's just not going to be able to hold up in marking Snuffy. With this in mind, it's possible that instead of going after the source itself, Isagi's plans involve using Raichi to take away the extra arms and legs of the UBERS. Although an insane player himself, Snuffy wouldn't be able to play as near effectively on offense if his passing routes were just more limited. Raichi and Ness have already been trying to cover them, however it just ends up leaving Snuffy wide open, making him all the deadlier. Now the key player that I think Raichi could actually focus on here is none other than the 15-year-old Metavision user, Nico. Not only is he contributing greatly to this current push, but Nico has shown himself to be an immense threat this game, using his now awakened Metavision to cause issues for Isagi and Bastard München. One thing I want to point out, however, is Nico should be experiencing some stamina drain here in these upcoming chapters, just like Isagi did during his earlier usages of Metavision. If this does end up being the case, maybe Isagi's realization during the whole patience speech was about this. With Raichi once again boasting the most impressive stamina out there, he could easily run up and down the field while focusing on purely Nico, waiting for him to make that one single mistake. Just like Isagi said in chapter 223, he needs to be the one to take the initiative and force Snuffy to react to him. That's exactly what getting repossession of the ball like this would do, for us to then maybe see Raichi play keep away from Snuffy for 3 whole minutes, rather than advancing the ball against such a threatening opponent. Now moving on to my third theory, I want to preface by saying that this one isn't as likely as the rest, but it's still something that I wanted to mention. What if by asking Raichi to die, Isagi is thinking of using him to get a card on Snuffy, or maybe actually even foul Snuffy to stall him in general? I think that the latter is less likely due to it being intentional harm, but I can possibly see Raichi foul baiting the UBERS master. Now first and foremost, this matches up with what Isagi was saying in chapter 223, talking about taking the initiative rather than laying patient and wait. It would essentially cut off the current core of this UBERS onslaught, potentially giving Isagi the opportunity to gain repossession. Also in chapter 208, Raichi literally found himself in a scenario involving this, with Igaguri the monk baiting fouls off of him. It's possible that he may incorporate this knowledge against Snuffy and the UBERS, reducing Snuffy's effectiveness just as he's intended for. I mean, as we see in 208, this technique absolutely pisses Raichi off, and it's not just because of his hot head. Now my only issue with this though is the fact of Marc Snuffy being a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, with his immense knowledge of biomechanics and using his core. It would be pretty hard for Raichi to bait him in any sort of way, although I still think it was something that I wanted to bring up. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because it's always refreshing to hear y'all's differing opinions and ideas. Now for the fourth and final theory of my own, we have the possibility that Isagi and Raichi simply just fail. With chapter 224's title being an easy job, it's sounding a bit like Snuffy and the UBERS have still managed to succeed with something, especially the word easy being used there. We have to keep in mind though, at the end of the day, Marc Snuffy is still a world-class striker and also renowned as the overall best player. Now I know Isagi is the main character as well, but it would kind of feel plot-driven if he somehow manages to formulate a plan that works against him, considering the level of skill and teamwork that the UBERS are displaying. Also the fact is, this match definitely still has a good 6 or more chapters, because Bastard München are not winning this game 3-1. In the next chapter, or within the next 2 to 3, Snuffy and the UBERS will 100% be scoring an equalizer here, tying the score at 2 to 2 and match point. At this point though, Hiyori will then be able to have his moment in this game, and all those other characters can have their moments. I don't care at that point. I just don't want Bastard München winning 3-1. I truly do hope that Isagi indeed fails here with his scheming, because I really want it to be emphasized how strong these world-class players are, compared to the current level of blue lockers. Now before this video ends, there's one theory from the comment section that I have to mention because of how hilarious it really is. Our boy DB Mina 5210 believes that in order to stall Snuffy for these last 3 minutes, Bastard München has only one viable option. Igarashi the monk needs to be subbed in. Who is with me, ladies and gentlemen? Woo! Just like we were speaking about earlier, the monk has been training his ability to bait fouls using the right side of his body, leading into this commenter's theory here. He believes that in asking Raichi if he's willing to die, Isagi is actually referring to him being temporarily subbed out, being replaced with the man, the myth, and the legend himself. With this overpowered ability of baiting fouls with a 100% rate, the monk could potentially have found an ability completely unrelated to skill. With a scummy, low-tier tactics like this coming into play, I can actually understand where the commenter is coming from, due to the skill of the opponent not correlating to its effectiveness. Obviously that's an important aspect here, when we're talking about Igarashi the monk, going against Marc Snuffy, the world-class threat. Now obviously, I'm not so sure that this will be happening anytime soon, but I do have something to ask you guys that's very important. Do I make a monk theory video on his upcoming usage against PXG? Because I do have a few things in mind that would make use of this legend. Now once again guys, just keep in mind that all of this is pure speculation, just based off of clues in the story and my opinions. Feel free to let me know your thoughts for the upcoming chapter in the comments, because I know that all of you have your wants in this matchup. All of my Raichi fans out there, all of my Hiyori fans out there, and especially all of my Igarashi fans out there. Yes, sir. If you guys enjoyed today's speculative content, please do be sure that you've checked that you're subscribed to the channel. Also, if you'd like to interact with me and many others in our community Discord, feel free to click that link in the description and drop on by. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I appreciate you all so much. I'll see you in the next one.